Hi, Brett Warren here, your trusted resource for the Brisbane property market. Well, it's been a pretty rough decade for Brisbane. 2008 we had the GFC, which everyone was affected by, but unfortunately in 2011 we had the floods, and then the mining turn hit us a number of years later. That's brought our economy and our jobs growth to a crashing halt. But I'm starting to see some green shoots and things are starting to turn around, which is really exciting. People are returning to Brisbane from interstate and overseas. Our unemployment rate's starting to trend down finally after years of going upwards. And it's going to be some exciting things on the horizon. In a recent article, I talked about a number of our major employment hubs starting to expand. In Brisbane, we've got a number of projects in the CBD. Our airport's getting a second runway, and our hospitals are also starting to increase and expand as well. And there's a number of lifestyle precincts on the horizon. But today I'm going to focus specifically on what's happening in the CBD, and I really want to speak to someone who's at ground level. So I'm interviewing Sam Degn from Colliers International, and she's the leasing manager here. She's starting to see some optimism in the market as well. So let's go and talk to Sam about what she's seeing at ground level, and I'm really excited. Hey Sam, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. I know you're increasingly busy at this stage of year. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself to start with and your area of expertise?
Yeah, no worries. So I've been in the industry now for 5 years, and it's been a massive learning curve to see the market, the retail market, come and go. And over the past 3 years, it's definitely just started to step up and the excitement's starting to come back. As we're seeing some really good quality operators coming into the CBD. And you know, off the back of Edward Street Beautification Project, we're sort of seeing some great luxury operators taking strong interest in Brisbane. But also the Queen Street Mall, the big box operators that are coming into town that have really driven that consumer market. To sort of see that progress over the last 3 years has been really great for myself. Yep. And you know, coming from a background of property, my whole family works in property, and it's always been a passion of mine to be in this industry, and sure. I've certainly enjoyed my last 5 years in retail and hoping for many more.
Yeah, great. What are some of the trends you've been seeing over the last 5 years? I know from a property perspective, we've obviously been influenced by the mining downturn and a little bit to the floods as well. What's been your experience from a retail and commercial side of things?
So predominantly in the CBD, we sort of see tourism as a major trend at the moment. So over the past 5 years, F&B is always very active. 90%, 80 to 90% of active retailers are food and beverage, but we've really seen luxury, for example, and fashion really peter off to just a few luxury operators, but also fast fashion as well. And I guess with the entrance of sort of big fast fashion units like Uniqlo and Zara, we're starting to see that pick up again.
Yeah, great. So they're new trends, obviously. You're starting to see those trends pick up. Obviously it's been a bit up and down like we have had, but you're starting to see some turning points and some key factors that are starting to show up? Yeah,
definitely. So we are the third city when new entrants from international countries come into Australia. So they go Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. So for us to experience a Uniqlo, H&M Home and Zara has been a really big thing for Brisbane, and it's certainly driven a lot more consumers to the CBD as opposed to suburban shopping centres.
Sure. Well, that's exciting, and one thing I'm really excited about is the Queens Wharf Project. I think that's going to be absolutely huge for Brisbane. What are your feeling at the ground level, I guess, and from an insider's perspective as to what's happening and the level of excitement? And obviously we're starting to see those international visitors come to town. Is that going to increase as well?
Definitely. So there's a lot of excitement around the Queens Wharf precinct, which is supposed to happen over the next sort of 5 to 7 years. It'll be great for surrounding retailers in the area, George Street owners as well, so they'll get to take full advantage of what this will do to Brisbane CBD. So essentially it will turn Brisbane on its head from existing Edward Street and Queen Street Mall being our predominant retail hubs. Yep. The casino will bring that luxury aspect back to Brisbane, and with that comes tourists as well. Yeah. And the W Hotel, which is just alongside the Queens Wharf precinct, will also drive that tourism dollar, and that's something that the Brisbane CBD really needs, and will be fantastic for us moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously that's going to create a huge amount of jobs, tourism as you mentioned, also expanding that lifestyle precinct as well. There's some other projects that are on the way as well that will expand that. Can you let us know a bit about that as well, please?
Yeah, so along with the Queens Wharf precinct, which will take up predominantly most of George Street, we've got 300 George, which incorporates the W Hotel, and there is 4,000 square metres of retail space. Now that sort of space fronts onto George, but also has this amazing aspect looking over the river. So there'll be some amazing restaurants through there that will attract again the tourist and the corporate consumer that will be spending, a day or a couple of days here in Brisbane. So on top of that, we also have the Howard Smith Wharves, which are underway at the moment and due for completion late 18. So that will incorporate a whole new restaurant precinct and hotel as well, which will be fantastic and will really connect Brisbane CBD with the Tenerife part of Brisbane.
Yeah, absolutely. No, look, that's really exciting, and I'm excited because the last decade's actually been, not bad, but it's been quite poor, and there hasn't been a lot of growth and excitement in the market, and I can just really sense that this is really ground level, and it's going to expand from here. So thanks for sharing your thoughts with us today. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
And we'll look forward to another strong couple of years.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks. So there you go, guys. Obviously, Sam's got her finger on the pulse. She knows what she's talking about. And everything's starting to happen in Brisbane. It's going to be a really exciting decade, and hopefully it makes up for the disappointment of the last decade. I know as property investors, when there's jobs being created, there's international businesses and local businesses coming to town, wages are growing, there's confidence in the economy. We haven't had that for a long time. The lifestyle precincts are going to increase demand in these inner city locations, so it's really important you get that timing right. There's really good opportunities in the next couple of years to get on at ground level. There will always be the ups and downs and turnarounds of the market, but overall the next 10 years is going to be super positive, and I can't wait to see how it pans out.